Yo guys, it is Captain Thorpe and the Champions League is back where it belongs on our television screens. The draw is about to be done. It is done later on today and it is my job to predict which groups all the teams will be in. Last time I did one of these predictions, it was for the semi-finals and I got that spot on. Liverpool v Roma and Real Madrid v Bayern Munich. But today is going to be much harder because there's 32 teams to predict. So let's get into it. And part 1 has Real Madrid, the holders, Atletico Madrid, the Europa League winners, but I think that rule might have changed because United were in pot 2 last year when they won Europa League. Barcelona, of course, are in pot 1 along with Bayern, Man City, Juventus, PSG, and somehow Spartak Moscow. For winning the Russian League, I don't see it's right being in pot 1, to be honest. It should be pot 3 maximum for me. Anyway, in pot 2 we have Dortmund, we have Porto, Man United, Shakhtar Donetsk, Benfica, Napoli, Spurs and Roma. Looks a pretty decent set of teams in pot 2, but there's one team they missed. Liverpool. How have Liverpool been in pot 3? I'm a Liverpool fan and I'm not happy with that at all. We're in pot 3 for coming runners-up of the Champions League, and the team like Spartak Moscow are in pot 1. Are you joking me? We're going to end up with a group of death at this rate. In pot 3 again, and I'm pretty sure we're in pot 3 last year as well. We got lucky because we got Spartak Moscow. Anyway, there's nothing I can do about it now, so let's just get into my predictions. In Group A, I've gone with City, Dortmund, Lyon and Red Star Belgrade. City and Dortmund make a very good group, and if this was to happen, I think both teams would go through, but they both play out pretty decent matches to prepare them for the latter stages. In Group B, we have Spartak Moscow, Man United, Ajax and Young Boys. Of course, Man United normally get the easy group, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if they drew Spartak Moscow as their A team. So that's why I've gone with this group, and of course United probably would go through alongside, I don't know, either Ajax or Spartak Moscow. I don't know, and I don't really care, to be honest. Group C, now this is a potential group of death. Barcelona, Napoli, Schalke and Galatasaray. 4 pretty decent teams in there. Barcelona would be going through for me, and I think that Schalke might join them, although Napoli are a very good team as well. So it would be an interesting group. It would be interesting to see who went through if this was to happen, but I would probably go for Barcelona and Schalke. Moving on, and we have Group D. We have Atletico Madrid, Benfica, Monaco and Inter Milan. I think Atletico would go through alongside, I was about to say Monaco then, but actually I don't think they'd be able to do it. They've lost the likes of Lamar and Fabinho, so I think if this was to happen, it would probably be Atletico and Benfica. But Inter Milan would set up a good challenge. It would be a decent group, to be honest, if this was to happen. So those are the first 4 groups. Now, 24 teams have been paired. So let's say, for example, Barcelona and Real Madrid, so from the same country, like Liverpool and United, they've been paired, which means that if one of them is drawn in A, B, C or D, the other one has to be drawn in E, F, G and H. So I've only done 12 of those teams in these first 4 groups, but I'm of course going to do the other 12 in the second 4 groups, so hopefully this is to try and keep my predictions as accurate as possible. In Group E, therefore, we have PSG, Spurs, PSV and Club Bruges. If this was to happen, there'd be some great games between PSG and Tottenham Hotspur. They managed to upset Real Madrid last year, so maybe they'd be able to upset PSG this time. Either way though, I think both teams would go through. PSV would drop to Europa League and Club Bruges would be out of the tournament. Moving on to Group F, and we have the holders Real Madrid. They join Porto, CSKA Moscow and Athens. I think Real Madrid obviously would go through this group despite losing Ronaldo. And their odds of winning the Champions League are actually 8-1, which is below the likes of Man City. But that being said, they're definitely going to get out of this group if it was to happen. A pretty easy group, unlike last year when they got the likes of Spurs and Dortmund. But I think that it'll probably be Porto joining them and CSKA will drop down to Europa League. Group G, and we have a proper group of death this time, probably the worst of the lot. Bayern Munich join Roma, Liverpool. It's tough. It would be tough if this was to happen. Alongside that Czech team. But I think Bayern and Liverpool would go through. Roma have lost a couple of key players in Alisson to Liverpool and Nainggolan. So if it was to happen, those 3 of the 4 semi-finalists last year, they could be in the same group. That's how ridiculous the pots are. It would be a great group, but I think that Liverpool would manage to go through alongside Bayern Munich, and unfortunately Roma will drop down to Europa League. The final group is Group H, and that is Juventus, Shakhtar Donetsk, Valencia and Hoffenheim for me. Another very interesting group, to be fair. 3 pretty evenly matched teams and Juventus. Juventus will be going through, of course, with Ronaldo. They are one of the favourites to win the Champions League. But joining them, it could be any of those 3 teams. I would probably edge towards Valencia, but they've got 3 solid teams there that could put up a bit of a challenge and a race for second place. So those are the groups that I think are going to happen. Let me know if you agree or disagree. To be honest, this is based off no knowledge whatsoever, apart from the way that the pairs are being drawn, but generally this is pure guesswork. If this happens, then that will be absolutely incredible. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe for more Champions League and general football content in the future, and I'll catch you guys later. Adios.